got a new microphone, and I think you can pick up my voice a lot better. So, I think I can just whisper today's whole lesson and make it an ASMR video. So lay back, get comfortable, find some good headphones, and check out today's lesson on constitutional interpretation. I'm just kidding, I'm not going to do that. Alright, let's talk about something completely different. So, your next reading, which I will email you the pages for, I'm pretty sure it's pages 199 to 207 if you want to get a head start and open it while we're doing this video. And honestly, that's just like the introduction. I fully recommend that you go through and read the cases that it actually talks about. And like read what the justices actually said. Especially since once we talk about how to do the case briefs, these would be some great cases to brief. Like you can read Scalia's thing, and you can read Dworkin's response. Actually, I might assign the Scalia and Dworkin parts just because they're really good. I like the Dworkin one. Scalia writes well. He's just kind of an asshole. Anyway, excuse me. Constitutional interpretation is super important, and a lot of what you think of as rights in this country, a lot of what we've already discussed as rights in this country, depend on how these old judges interpret the Oh God, excuse me. I'm hungry, and it gave me the hiccups, but luckily my Chinese food is already here, so I'm about to go get some Singapore Mei Fun and some wonton soup once we're done talking about constitutional interpretation. So, how these old judges interpret the Constitution, and if they don't think that, the emoluments clause saying that the president has to divest themselves of a bunch of money-making things doesn't mean anything anymore, or if they decide the clauses about impeachment don't actually have to be enforced, then we were fucked with a fascist dictator, so that's cool. But on to the reading. The reading uses a great example of cases regarding the First, Second, 14th Amendments, among others. And we'll come back to the First Amendment when we're talking about obscenity. But Heller is a case about the Second Amendment and interpreting that. And it's a great case about interpreting this thing, and it raises some questions I want you to ask yourself, like, does this make sense? Dick Heller had a gun. Anyway, so it asks questions about, does the well-regulated militia part limit the right to own guns? Like, do you have to be part of a militia? Or is it just flavor text and we can all get our own AKs? Does arms refer to just normal guns, or guns that would have been available in the 18th century? Or can I get military grade ordnance as a private citizen? I mean, I don't know, I might could use a tank, some dirty nukes, I don't know. But does the security of a free state part, does that enter into the equation? How far does shall not be infringed really protect it? Like, is a background check infringement? Let's say you're a police officer like Dick Heller, and you just happened to have killed a bunch of people. Should you still get a gun, or would that be an infringement? I don't know. Important question to ask with all these You know. Anyway, a lot of good questions in there, but I really like the Smith case, which comes up next. Smith v. U.S. It's it's not about interpreting the Second Amendment, but it's about interpreting the law that this dude broke. So there was a law that said you do like extra time or get extra punishment for using a gun in the commission of a crime. Sure, why not? This guy Smith traded a gun for some illegal drugs. Okay, so he used the gun. It's not like ordinary use. He didn't shoot a guy, but the guy fucking used a gun in the commission of a crime. So, does this statute apply? I think that's great. This is such a good thing to argue about. But, I mean, yeah, you tell me. He used a gun. The statute says uses a gun in commission of a crime. But read that case. I like it. I think it's a good case. Scalia gets his panties all in a twist because he considers it part of his commitment to democracy that the judges are only supposed to interpret the laws as written and democratically passed. So judges don't just get to say whatever the law means or look at the intent or anything else. If they interpret it in a way that the people don't mean, the people can just pass a new law or a new amendment. Now, ignoring how hard that is to pass laws and make new amendments, that's a decent principled stand. But what the fuck do you do with Smith here, Scalia? Like it says uses a gun, so we have to decide. And how does your textualism work for the Holy Trinity? Because there, I mean, the intent and the normal meaning of the words conflict. And also, how is his insistence on following the text, his textualism, and just having to decide what the text means any different from deciding what words mean and what they ought to mean? Especially when he's still deciding based on his own experience, his own biases, his own privileges. So the Constitution doesn't say a single word about sodomy, about birth control, about abortions, or creationism, or statutory rape, or peyote, or flag burning. So, do we need a new amendment to deal with each single one of these? Well, another way of interpreting says no. I mean, duh, the amendments are pretty clear about this intent to protect liberties from congressional overreach. So even though there's no enshrined right to privacy with that explicit word, we have a lot of amendments about privacy, right? Like we've got the no search and seizures, we've got the no quartering soldiers, we've got the no self incrimination. And we've got the 14th Amendment with its due process clause and equal protection clause. So, like, that's close enough. We know that laws denying birth control would go too far into people's personal private lives. And their ability to, like, control their family and who they marry and stuff like that. So, that's what the court said in Griswold, which is another case in here. Family planning is personal, so the government can't control it without a really, really good reason and doing it in the least harmful way possible. Bowers v. Hardwick, though, where a gay blowjob got caught and dude got arrested for breaking the sodomy law in the state of Georgia, which is where I'm from, by the way. I'm so proud of Bowers v. Hardwick. It didn't follow that same reasoning. Bowers said that not everything in the home is private and protected, and that shit's nasty, so go to jail, homos. The reasoning in the case is spelled out more than that. Just that, like, if this is something that's harming society, we don't want people to do it in their homes. And just doing it in your home doesn't make it, like, beyond the purview of the long arm of the law. But it wasn't until 2003, actually, that Lawrence v. Texas returned to that reasoning to say that, no, nuh-uh, this cop busting into this guy's home and catching him doing another dude in the butt is not enough good reason to put him in jail. He's not hurting anyone. Well, I guess, hopefully. I hope they used enough lube. So this is no good. Sodomy laws are unconstitutional. It's an invasion of privacy. Just to be clear, sodomy means any oral or anal, so this is a victory for everyone, not just the gays. Anyway, that same line of reasoning is what secured the right to abortion in Roe v. Wade. So, is congressional intent enough? Is the text enough? I mean, I'm glad for Roe v. Wade. I celebrate it. I'm all about it. But at the same time, maybe Scalia is right. Wouldn't it be more secure to have an actual amendment saying Congress shall pass no law infringing on a woman's decisions over her own body, or with anybody's decision to eat ass? At the same time, there's a pretty clear pushback to Scalia in that he can still just interpret things however he thinks they should be. So, like, no cruel and unusual punishment, 8th Amendment. So, what the fuck is cruel and unusual, Scalia? Do we keep the death penalty or not? Do we go by 18th century moral standards or 21st? We have to come up with something. And in the end, couldn't we still just democratically pass any amendment or statute to override a bad Supreme Court decision? Like, even if they were being judicial activists, the democratic option is still open to us. Anyway, read all that stuff. The like I said, the introduction part, the 199 to 207, is not that long, but I absolutely recommend a deeper dive into the cases and into the two pieces by Scalia and Dworkin that follow. But yeah, that's all. I thought this was going to be a long one. How long? 14 minutes. That's not too bad. But yeah, I had an awful lot to say. Now let me hear what y'all have to say, and I will talk to you later. Bye.